With us this morning to review the papers are anthropologist Mariana Hotta and also broadcaster and writer Edward Adu. And here they are. Thank you very much indeed to both of you for joining us there. My goodness, I can spot the number of buses, Edward, that you have there in that background. I think we'll have to talk about that at some stage.
Don't complain if your bus doesn't get to you this morning.
Well, let me start off with you there, Marianne, because we're looking at the front page of the Daily Mail and Raab, free speech to get legal supremacy. Could you just shed some more light on this for us?
Yeah, so this is the introduction. Well, it's out for consultation at the moment. This British Bill of Rights, which will be a piece of legislation that will effectively replace the Bill of Rights that currently stands in law that was introduced under the Labour government. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's pretty much a kind of an obvious shot that Raab has positioned this not as something that is progressive, that is going to be about protecting British citizens, our rights, the values that we hold really at the heart of our society. In law, he's using it as an opportunity to take a shot at the judiciary and at, quote, wokery and political correctness. So the way he's phrased this is that the free speech will be given effectively a trump card when weighing up rights, different rights. So a right to be protected from harassment, for example, versus the right for someone to say whatever they want. And fundamentally, it's a kind of a bit of a misrepresentation of the law, because there's not going to be a situation where legally people are allowed to say things that are currently illegal. So things that are outright lies, libel, racist slurs, all that stuff will remain very much illegal. So this is a kind of an opportunity basically to kind of ramp up, pour a bit of petrol on the culture wars, and to suggest that the current legislation that we have doesn't let people speak their mind. It very much does. It just also protects people from hateful and illegal harms.
Absolutely.
So, drink a cup of coffee and move on, and don't stop it.
Cup of coffee, hot chocolate will also do. That's my favourite. Yeah. That's what keeps me going, the sugar rush. And Edward, let me come to you, obviously with everything that's going on in Ukraine, and we're looking at the front page of the Times here, and this is about Russians retreating to eastern Ukraine. Now, we have to take something like this with alarm bells, don't you, ringing, because you kind of think, could this be a ploy, a plot to distract attention, basically, and then Russia could then strike when they feel that people have perhaps maybe let their guard down? I mean, just shed some more light on this for us.
It's interesting what you say in terms of, it seems as if Putin and Moscow, they've analysed what they've done so far and realised that in some aspects it's not working. So in a sense, they've had to possibly scaling back and heading to the eastern part of Ukraine, Donbass. And it seems, if that was Putin's overall goal to go to Donbass, then it makes you think, why on earth, in terms of the strategy, from what's the pain, the deaths, what has happened so far, why do they go to these lengths to try and to reach out, or to try and or to go to instead of going to Donbass? Why did the strategic? It seems it's been very, very messy. So long and short of it, this is what they're scaling back. And Moscow said, look, in terms of our ambitions for going to the whole of Ukraine, we're going to focus now. We're going to go to Donbass. Now, what you're saying is, a pinch of salt. Is this a distraction? Is this to kind of move things away and to say, well, in actual fact, this is what we're going to do. We're going to concentrate on this particular area, and then for the West and for the media, for everyone to realise that, okay, that's what they're going to do. And in actual fact, they're going to do something completely different.
Yes, and that's something that I think that we've all learned, haven't we, to just basically watch that. So if they say one thing, you probably have to keep an eye on the other thing as well. Certainly Russia underestimating the people of Ukraine there. And let me just bring things, matters back home to matters back home. And Marianne, I'm looking at the front page of the Telegraph, which says PM claims that Rishi Sunak snubbed his plan to keep energy cap. I mean, there's been a lot of talk, hasn't there, about Mr. Sunak perhaps after Mr. Johnson's job. But just tell us what your take on this is.
Yeah, this suggests that there's tensions that are escalating between number 10, the Prime Minister, and number 11, the Chancellor, Downing Street, because these stories are being leaked to the press, partly, suggesting that Boris Johnson wanted to introduce some kind of assurances to the British public that energy bills will be capped in October and they won't go up necessarily quite as much as they might. And Rishi Sunak said, absolutely not. We don't know what's going to happen 6 months down the line. We're making no promises along those lines. Obviously, Sunak has come in for a lot of flack about how rubbish the spring statement is in terms of protecting the most vulnerable people from the cost of living crisis, and I would definitely second that claim.
And Edward, there, just hidden, tucked away at the bottom of the Daily Telegraph is the next story. Boosters can be given early to ease infections. Sounds like good news.
Sounds like good news because apparently nearly 5 million people had COVID last week, or the latest stat. So instead of people waiting 6 months, I think it's the drive is to make sure that people get their jabs in order to ease infection. And I mean, it seems to be spreading. I mean, the amount of people I know who have managed to get the infection, even though things have eased, it seems that numbers are going up. So I suppose this is a good thing to bring numbers down and to ensure that things don't get worse.
Okay, that's great. Great to hear from both of you, Marianne Hotto and Edward Adu. We'll be back with you in the next hour. Thank you very much indeed. And we're taking a short break now, but do stay with us because we'll be back with you in just a few minutes' time.